What's going on, everyone? It's time for another film review. Today we're going to do a sci-fi action film called The Objective. It was released April 24th, 2008, and was directed by Daniel Myrick, who also he co-wrote or produced Blair Witch, the found footage. He did it for the Blair Witch Project, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, and Blair Witch. He co-wrote and produced those. And also he did do the documentary Curse of the Blair Witch. But he also did films like Solsta, Belarus, and Skyman. The Objective. Well, this was a weird one to sit through. There's some not ex-cons, military, the U.S. military personnel are sent on a mission to go investigate weird anomalies going on in the Afghanistan desert, where they run across the Afghanis who are trying to hide something. And then, sure enough, lo and behold, they come across these weird shape formations in the desert, which appear to be portals to different realms, and also has some weird spiritual things going on with it. So as they go in and check it out, crazy things start happening, and things don't end up being what they seem. Overall, this film is super boring. There's barely anything that goes on in this, and yeah. So this is a lower budget film, and yeah, you can definitely tell the acting is pretty wooden and pretty bland for the most part. The special effects are pretty cheesy and hokey, and it's by no means not like shot on video or like the old camcorder footage stuff we see in like the early 2000s. This one, the cinematography is really good, and the music is pretty decent as well. But yeah, the rest of the film, no. Yeah, the story is just, you spend so long with these characters hiking through the desert and just bitching and moaning with each other with these not so high-tech equipment that's supposed to be state-of-the-art technology. And then when you get to the actual spiritual stuff, you're like, oh yeah, it's finally going to pick up. It is the most dull, boring stuff ever. Like the spiritual stuff, people just disappear, and they shoot at nothing for half the time, and then it goes on a spiritual plane at the end, and it's just all over the place. They had an interesting idea, and I think if they had like a bigger budget, maybe more time, they could have executed something a little more interesting. But with what we got, man, this movie is hard to sit through, and yeah, it's pretty terrible. Also, the guns are the most unrealistic things ever. That you can definitely tell they don't know how to handle them, and they don't know what they're working with and things like that. That's very evident in this, and yeah, and I didn't really think like the villains in the film and stuff like that weren't menacing at all. There's nothing to root for. There's nothing there. It was just a bland little walk in the desert with some fake military people bitching and moaning, and that's not what I was hoping for. Overall, I thought this film was super boring and really dull. Some interesting concepts, but man, it needed a ton of work if they actually wanted to succeed with something good. So I'm going to give The Objective a 1 out of 5. Yeah, but if you want to check it out, it is on Tubi, so I'll link it for free. You watch it down there for free. Just hopefully you don't mind a little ads or two down there. So if you want to watch it for free, it's linked down below. Also linked down below is my Instagram, where I always post clips of films and review in the future on my stories. Have the film title and hashtag, the subject of the film, and hashtag so you're aware of it. Also, my Letterbox down below, daily peer reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. On my Letterbox down below, at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating after watching the film. And Twitter's down below at reviews_Derek. So follow me on those platforms and loop this channel. Like this video, share it to more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any films or film franchises in any genre and on any streaming service I want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment them down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can and if I can find them. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Hopefully, we find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. And also, so you hear my opinions on popular films, have come out, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because, well, we're going to talk about sci-fi comedy called Absolutely Anything in the next one. So it's going to be good to do another comedy. So we'll be checking that out in the next review. So make sure you tune in for that. Watch out for all those weird shapes in the desert. It could be portals with unknown evils attacking us. And I guess I'll see you all in the next one. So until then, cheers.